Hey, this is Dave from Liability, and you're listening to Grit City Punk.
What's up, everybody? It's Grit City Punk, Tacoma's underground news source for punk, hardcore, alternative music in the Pacific Northwest. I'm back. I'm Jeremy. I'm your host. Welcome to an amazing show. We've got an awesome interview with David, the drummer from Liability, aka Ricky Midnight. You know him. You love him. He is world-class drummer, world-class human, really cool guy. Had a great time talking to him. And you're going to hear that later on in the episode after we talk about and play some new music from really cool local bands. There was some really awesome music that came out these last 2 weeks. There's been some awesome shows too. I didn't make it out to as many as I was hoping. The South Sound Punk and Oi Fest at Real Art was a blast. I worked the doors for the first day on that. Lots of cool bands, lots of old school punk bands. But this last weekend, on Friday, was Casi's album release party at Sprinker Park in Spanaway, Washington, which is an amazing skate park if you've never been there. And it was a perfect setting for a show like this. Huge skate park, completely shut off from the outside world. There's a fence, totally fenced in, away from traffic, away from random people. Man, they had so many people skateboarding there, doing competition for the best trick. ETC was out there giving away free swag like hats and even skate decks. There was barbecue. And of course, there was live music from not only Casi, but 100K, who was also from Spanaway, and State Mad, who are from, I believe, Tacoma. And all in all, I would venture to guess there was maybe 200 people there, and just an amazing cross-section of people that, a lot of people that you see at Seattle or Tacoma punk shows, and a lot of people that you don't see at Seattle and Tacoma punk shows. There was, obviously, the band had their family and friends, and there was just local Spanaway people that wanted to come to a show. There was skaters, tons of skaters, and there was Seattle punk kids that came down to the show, an army of photographers. Good friend Jimmy, who we heard from last episode, was there. Polish Matt was there. Awesome turnout. Casi played an incredible set. They basically played their album plus a few songs after. Just an absolutely mind-blowing set. And they had merch. I think they sold out of some of their shirts. They had records. This is not hyperbole when I say this, but like, this show was definitely a top show experience for me of all time. Like, specifically from this year so far, like, I would put this up there with my February show at Real Art, the Love in This Economy show, which I'm still kind of riding the high of this, but I will be riding the high of this Casi show for months, I'm sure. It was just the most amazing show of community and unity. It was on Juneteenth, and like you want to talk about diversity at punk shows. Like, I've never seen this diverse of a crowd at a punk show or at a skate park or, you know, just anywhere really. It was just absolutely beautiful. Casi, you guys are the shit. Thank you for putting this on. It was so cool. And I want to do this again. I want skate park shows to be like this. I want shows with barbecues and skateboarding and just all that stuff. For real, this was an awesome show. But enough about that. Let's get on with the podcast here. We've got tons of new songs to talk about, so let's get into that now. Okay, let's do this. Sneer, Seattle anarcho-punk band Sneer, played their song Cybertruck last episode off of their debut EP, Arm the Poor. That is out now. It's on streaming platforms everywhere. It's on Bandcamp. There are CDs and cassettes available for it. They're out on tour right now. If you didn't get the merch from this new drop yet, make sure you get it when they come back from tour. I grabbed a CD and a shirt at the Punk and Oi Fest. They opened there and then went up to Lucky Liquor and headlined a show, which is absolutely badass. That EP fucking rips. So absolutely, go check that out if you haven't. It is such a cool EP. Speaking of cool EPs, we've got a split from Seattle band Land of Wolves with Colorado band Slight. This split is called King of the Mountain. The Land of Wolves side is a Rainier beer parody logo. The Slight side is a Coors Banquet beer parody logo. Awesome artwork. I definitely give a 10 out of 10 on that. The Land of Wolves side is what we're going to focus on here, being that it's local. And this is really cool. It really feels like an old school, like hardcore punk band. Fast, aggressive, no bullshit. So check this out. This is the second track on there. It's called Worth Has Run Out. You can get this on Bandcamp. There is a split LP out, I believe. So definitely go check it out. And check out the Slights too from Colorado because they're pretty rad. So this is Worth Has Run Out by Land of Wolves. Seattle band Missmanaged has dropped a new single. It is called Pretty Ugly. This is like a hard rock, more hard rock focused kind of song. Still a little punky, a little pop punky, hard rock. It reminds me a lot of this band I used to really love from Phoenix called Dollskin. They are unfortunately no more, but in their day, they were really cool. One of my favorite active bands from that period of the late 2010s. Go check them out if you get a chance to. Dollskin. They were great. Missmanaged reminds me of somewhat of that, but not totally. These kids are really doing it big. They're putting out a lot of cool singles. Go check them out. Check out them live if you can. I haven't yet, but I would love to. So check out this new single. This is called Pretty Ugly from Missmanaged.
Feminine cannot mean shame.
Good friend of the show, Evangeline Ray, is back with her first single since, was that 2024 when she dropped her EP, LP? I think it was. So she is back with a new single. I believe this is the first of a new batch of songs. It's called Brighter. It just dropped on Friday. Totally not punk. It's acoustic. It's mellow. It's really beautiful. I love what Evangeline does with her music. It is just really comfortable. You know, the kind of music that you just put on and it's just chill and you just feel like, yeah, this is where I'm at right now. So be sure to check out Brighter from Evangeline Ray. Check out all of her stuff because it's really good. Check out her work with the Drivers, which was great. Still one of my top local albums, Radio Roadkill from the Drivers.
Sky seems to whisper your name, seem to feel your presence in everything. It's been so long since I felt free, but with you my soul's at peace. Tend to let the fire burn, allow my opinion to be overturned. But then I wonder if the sun gets tired, I'm shining brighter when you smile. All the love I knew before this made me feel so unimportant, but this love has made me focus on not being my own opponent. We'll take things as they come, not let ourselves be overrun by the fear of things ending, not receiving the signals you're sending. I look down your hands in mine, we'll try not to pretend we're fine. We'll talk till our lungs get tired, so we can see our love shine brighter. I can't recall the days before I even knew your name. Now your voice is my favorite sound. I was lost but then you found me. I get anxious by the sound of loud voices, I'm overwhelmed by making choices, but with you I decompress. You melt away the stress. All the love I knew before this had me drowning in self-loathing, but this love has made me focus on not caring about the fitting of my clothing. We'll take things as they come, let ourselves be overrun by the fear of things ending, not receiving the signals you're sending. I look down your hands in mine, we'll try not to pretend we're fine. We'll talk till our lungs get tired, so we can see our love shine brighter. You build me up when I'm breaking down, you lift me up when I'm on the ground. I'll put my faith in your love, 'cause when I need a savior, you're the one I trust. So take things as they come, and let ourselves be overrun by the fear of things ending, not receiving the signals you're sending. I look down your hands in mine, we'll try not to pretend we're fine.
Next up, we've got a brand new single from the Jody Ellen Band called The Play Pretend. Jody Ellen always hitting it out of the park with pop punk, hard rock, really melodic, emo tinged, absolute bangers. Jody Ellen is an absolute monster in this scene. Always happy to hear new music from her. So without further ado, this is The Play Pretend from the Jody Ellen Band.
Swallowed up by the sea, my world is upside down. Thoughts surrounding, pulling me to pieces on the ground. A tornado in my head, every fear it finds, it keeps spinning faster, growing larger, taking everything with me. Biting lips, sinking ships, inner churning, ever yearning, fingers scratching, fear attacking, fist of hair again, despair. When will I be fine? How can I deny I'm not okay anymore? This is the end, a final curtain call for the play pretend. Say I'm fine, say I'm fine, but I'm not okay. Round and never slows, every thought it overgrows. If I don't stop, I'll disappear in the ion frozen I'm not okay anymore. This is the end, this is the final curtain call for the play pretend. This is the end. Heavy hearts need time to heal. Hand me heaven, just something real to feel alive. To feel alive. Say I'm fine, say I'm fine, but I'm not okay.
This next band is from Ellensburg. They're called Manta. Hopefully you heard their debut EP that came out earlier this year, or maybe it was late last year. They've been playing a lot of local shows lately. They're currently, or this last weekend, did a 3-day run with Sunbathe or Die. I had them on my benefit show last October for the Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network. And these guys are just fucking rad. They do this cool fusion of like a prog rock, heavy, kind of primacy, kind of weird genre mix that I just absolutely love. This new song that they just put out is called Manta. It's their ring entrance music. Every time I've seen them, they open with this song. Absolute banger of a track. So this is Manta from Manta. as I was saying in the opening of today's episode, Casi, the glaze is not going to stop. Casi just dropped their debut album. It's self-titled. It's out on Car Park Records. You could buy a CD or record. It's on Bandcamp. It's streaming everywhere. Absolute masterpiece of an album. On the day of the release on Friday, they also put out a video for the song 1187, which is maybe too early to say, but probably the best song on that album, which is saying a lot because they're all great. This one is kind of Deftones coded. It's a lot more melodic and a little slower paced than most of the rest of the album, but it's probably my favorite song from them right now. Go watch that video because it's really cool, and buy the fucking album because it's insanely good. So this is 1187 off of Casi's debut self-titled album.
Laid out in the sunset, felt deep in the color of a sundress. The wind don't blow like we used to it. Took tabs in the whip, now we see through it. I know, it's a hard thing to do when you let go. Switch lanes on the interstate real slow. This game ain't never that simple for us. Now I'm broken down, praying to an all-black sky. Is my heart in danger? Funny how we all got painful strangers. Cause if we're broken then we're stubborn. It's to the point where we can't even pretend. I don't think there's enough of us to make it through me leaving again. It's alright, another month and then I'm leaving again. It's alright, another month until I see you again. They say it's easier for someone. You think it's me, I do not understand. Cause when I moved to California, I said goodbye to you and all my friends. I'm always saying bye to someone. I swear I try as hard as I can. I've disappointed many loved ones. The same old messes that I'm cleaning again. Cause if we're broken then we're stubborn. It's to the point where we can't even pretend. I don't think there's enough of us to make it through me leaving again. Cause if we're broken then we're stubborn. It's to the point where we can't even pretend. I don't think there's enough of us to make it through me leaving again. It's alright, another month and then I'm leaving again. It's alright,
Next up, we've got some newcomers. This is a band called Chewing Gum out of Seattle. They are signed to the Big Dark Records and have just put out a CD, which is not available on streaming, I guess, yet. They did a CD release party at Easy Street this last weekend. The single from the album is called Possum, and it's streaming everywhere. You can hear that. I'm pretty excited about this. It's very sludgy and grungy and dark sounding, which is things that I am totally into. So check out this new band called Chewing Gum. They're from Seattle. They are a new young band with, I think, a lot of potential. So check this out. This is their first single called Possum. Here's a band that's been around for a while. They're called Catica from Seattle. You've probably heard of them or seen them. They just put out their debut album. called 9 Lives. It's really heavy shoegaze, dreamy kind of heavy. It's really rad. Go check out their album. You can get that on Bandcamp. This is the title track from the album. It's called 9 Lives. Seattle indie garage rock band Manila Folder has just dropped a new single with a B-side. The single is called Bang, and the B-side is called Rules of the Game, and you can check that out right here.
Play with me like a trigger, giggling when the gun's pointed at my figure. The bullet makes a passage into my heart. Smile once it flashes, don't get my gashes. Bang. Blow me through the roof of my mouth. Would you say that you're proud to be like the son of a god like me? A perfect aim, can you shoot for me? Shoot me in the eyes, burn me. Like a lily in your lane. Tie me up to a for my birthday. Let me go out, let me go out, let me go out with a bang.
And this last one is from Olympia band Killer Position. They are an experimental hardcore punk band. He dropped a new demo single on Bandcamp only. And I forgot to mention, the Catica album is currently only available on Bandcamp. Apparently will be on a wider release later, but for now it's only on Bandcamp. And the Manila Folder single is also only on Bandcamp. So 3 exclusives this episode for Bandcamp. If you're not using Bandcamp, you should be using Bandcamp. But anyways, Killer Position, Olympia band, they're rad. Check out their new single. It's called Irreciprocated. And it is a Bandcamp exclusive, but you can hear it right here, right now.
Thoughts when you speak, oh, I can't even think. Everything you said stuck in my head. Look into your eyes, I don't see anything. I can tell that you don't really care about me. Opened up my heart to you, but all you did was lead me to do this all on my own and tear me bone from bone. Thoughts when you speak, oh, I can't even think. Everything you said stuck in my head.
My name's Dave, and I play drums in the band Liability.
How did you get into punk music?
When I was in 7th or 8th grade, I had gotten a drum set for $200. And it was after playing like drums only in like school and stuff. And I moved out of town to the north end to Linwood. And I ended up just befriending through music in general some punk rockers. And one found out I had a drum set. And they came to my house and they showed me Survival of the Fattest, the CD.
Hell yeah.
And they put it on in a room. I had my very first drum set, which was, an absolute piece of work. And I wish I never sold it though. And they showed me the songs on that and asked me if I can play it. And I could. And that's how I got into punk rock. And then I didn't know until, after messing around and having a good time with those guys, Jacob Lone Fight, I found out that his brother was in a punk band looking for a drummer. And so I got into punk rock the very same day I got into a punk rock band, pretty much. And then a couple months later, when we did our first show, we had to cover the Misfits, and I never heard the Misfits. And that was the first time I heard the song Skulls, and I had to learn how to play Skulls in like a couple hours.
Well, it's far easier than anything on Survival of the Fattest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You lucked out with that one.
Yeah, Survival of the Fattest really got me into a whole lot of cool stuff and cool drumming too. I mean, like,
yeah,
there's a list of not even just drumming, but of course I gravitate towards that. But there's a list of just insanely now legendary, like good musicians from that era.
Yeah. Yeah, those early Fat Wreck comps were absolutely foundational for me. I think the first one that I got was the third one, Physical Fatness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still like know every song on there by heart.
Oh, I got a couple songs stuck in my head right now from it, just from you saying that.
Yeah. So you said you played some drums in school. So were you in band in school?
Yeah, I was in a band in 5th to 8th grade. I don't know why I wasn't in band in 9th grade now I think about it. But yeah, so in 5th grade, this will probably crack you up a little bit. In 5th grade, they had, announcements for my elementary school where they were saying like you could skip class for an hour and play an instrument, and all the instruments are in the gym right now. We'll go over there and see if you really connect with any of these. And man, I hated my teacher. Turns out he was probably really nice, but I hated my teacher. And I just wanted to get out of class for an hour a day. And I was interested in all the instruments because of that. And I went around trying to play all the instruments, and, they had the music score next to the instrument. And when I finally got to drums, drums is all note value. So every space in line in music score is another drum or cymbal or piece of percussion, unless you get into, crazy percussion. And so it looked flat. And in my lazy, let's get out of class mind, I said, this looks like the easiest thing to do.
Sure.
And the teacher, the band teacher, the conductor at the time, just had people trying to do paradiddles and doubles right there on the desk. When he asked me to do it, I did it. And I didn't even know that it was a tryout. And then bam, I'm in school band.
Awesome. And you get out of class for an hour every day.
Yeah. Well, it was like 2 days a week, but yeah, still.
Yeah. So how does that affect or inform your drumming in Liability or previous bands?
What do you mean? Could you rephrase that?
Like how does your music education through school and playing in like marching bands and stuff, how does that relate to or inform your drumming in punk bands?
Okay, thank you. Really, it just gave me experience. it gave me experience in terms like the most basic of techniques, because though I had a good time and I learned a lot, there was no real drum teacher. All the music teachers in school back then were just generic music teachers who knew how to play other instruments. So to them, they were, very basics of like what they saw with hand technique. And then they had like the stand up bass drum and things like that. I didn't actually even get on a drum set until like seventh grade, but that's just because they had a drum set in the room. And then in eighth grade, I basically failed to get into jazz band on the drum set.
How did you do that?
There was somebody better than me, somebody who was drumming longer and understood the kit better than I did.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that was around the same time I got a drum set. And as it turned out, I just needed a chance in a different direction. And I was lucky enough to get it.
Yeah. What does punk mean to you?
Punk to me means a unified, rebellious philosophy against authoritarianism, against the powers that be, if you will, even if that's within yourself, but on the outside. To me, punk, in the most basic of ideas, right, was born of rebellion. And that's what really got me into it, was the fact that it was born of rebellion, that it was having a meaning behind everything that you possibly could.
Yeah.
And of course, the music was created as an art form to gather and inspire companionship, to bring other people who felt the same way together.
Definitely from the Joe Strummer school of punk.
Yeah, I told you about my first experiences with punk, and that immediately led into bands like Crass. And I know they're not the best of drumming, but man, I can't tell you how much I love Crass. And I grew up on I went straight up from pop punk to just straight up political punk almost immediately.
Yeah.
And fell in love with it. Everything I knew before then was all purely mainstream. It was all the most mainstream stuff. Not that that's good or bad, but it's a totally different world when you get into punk to find out that other people actually do kind of feel and think the way that you do. You know, the disenfranchised, the cast outs, the people that feel like they're not really wanted or accepted by society and everyday people and normal philosophies.
And it says a lot to also going from being a kid and just kind of what you're being exposed to, as far as like pop music, whatever's on the radio, whatever's on MTV, and you're just consuming whatever is in front of you. Whereas you get into something like punk, there is so much below the surface that if you want to, you can find so much cool stuff, but you have to go looking for it. And I think that's where the separation in ideologies really comes from.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, because it's not just punk for us. Both of us have, been into different kinds of music. And I could tell you that hip hop is the same way, born of rebellion is what I call it. And
hip hop is punk. I don't care what anybody says. Hip hop is punk.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And where my heart's at really is metal. I love metal, and again, born of rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
There was everything that the mainstream in general didn't like or want, and they found each other.
Yeah, on the island of misfits toys.
Yeah, dude. And and then that journey through bands, dude. Like, yeah, you go out and you're inspired to keep finding new stuff, and it's kind of crazy how new stuff finds you all the time.
Yeah. Especially when you build such a strong social network with other punks and other people in the subcultures. And everybody that I talk to will name 5 bands I've never heard of. Mm-hmm. And I could probably, just in a normal conversation, name 5 bands that you've never heard of. And it's that back and forth that, it just spreads it.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So you played in your first punk band, and what did you say, about 7th, 8th grade?
8th grade, yeah.
Okay, what was your journey like after that, as far as like playing in bands?
It was pretty rough. I was in a couple bands on and off, especially in the early 2000s. I was in a metal band for about 4 years, but honestly, I've been the drummer who's gained the reputation of like replacing other drummers or joining bands late or things like that. And dude, I've been kicked out of more bands than people have thought about starting. I always joke with that, and then like I tell people like I have failed more times than most people have tried.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain amount of pride you can take in that, knowing that at least you tried that many times.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what
So,
they say: never try, never fail.
well, yeah, exactly. But also, you miss every ball you don't swing at.
There you go, man. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it sucked, but here I am. I'm living it up. I'm having the time of my life, and I'm doing an interview on Grit City Punk. It's freaking awesome, honestly.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing the interview. I'm sitting here talking to the drummer from fucking Liability. So tell me
Come
about
on, just some
hey,
guy.
just some guy. So tell me about Liability. How did Liability start? What is the story there?
Me and Mitch have known each other for a really long time, and I got tattooed from him since 2011, 2012, but we've just known each other through friends of friends for a long time. And then we were just kind of on our own musical hiatuses, I guess. And when his son was coming to age and Mitch was getting more and more back into music, he asked if I would be interested in jamming with him and Ben to get him going and to just have fun and, do whatever with, not expect anything from it. And I said, yeah, of course. That sounds like a blast. And Mitch out here is a local legend as a guitarist and a vocalist, so anybody who knows him knows that was like an opportunity on my end. Honestly, I was like, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I just said my only requirements are, because he specifically said punk rock, right? And I was like, really, the only thing I really want out of this is, our music has to be totally rebellious, and it's got to be rebellious because it's punk. It's got to be political and vegan because we're both anarcho-vegans. I was like, everything we do and say has to actually mean something. I didn't want to be a typical advertisement sounding rock and roll band, for example. And by no means am I saying do I even think or know of any bands in our scene that are like that. But to me, I just didn't want to be a typical band at all. I've always enjoyed playing fast and, being rebellious with it. And he said, say no more. I'll do that in 2 languages. And
And he did.
And he did.
Still does,
yeah. And man, it's awesome. And it just means the world to me that that he would do it like that. And he wasn't really into much of fast music and things like that before this. And so we actually had a lot of like, getting used to each other and gear grinding to do with each other. But since we were already basically best friends at that point, that wasn't a problem. We just hung out and did stuff. But he wrote a bunch of songs and he sent them to me, and I had a lot of influence on them. I was able to play whatever I wanted. He said that, which was great. And it's straight up my dream band.
Hell yeah.
It's I mean, I don't got to describe it to you, but it's just, you've heard it, right? Like it's
often.
It's skate punk with blast beats and double bass, and that's like the best of both worlds of what we both grew up with and always wish we had.
Yeah, that really surprises me though about Mitch not playing really a lot of fast music before that, because I mean, he just sounds so natural.
That's because he's so good. Yeah, it's because he is so natural, dude. Mitch is a hell of a musician, a hell of a musician in general. I don't know if you saw any videos, but I got videos of him, and I posted them before, of him playing on my drum set, and he's good. Dude, he rips.
I've seen him play drums. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's freaking awesome.
So you didn't really start Liability with any like expectations, really. How did you come about eventually recording songs, and then it seems like a long time after that, actually putting out the album and really turning it into a, dare I say, legitimate, like actual working band?
Well, we tried to get the songs, as down as we could, and we actually have a lot of recordings that we tried to record the album through some other people and situations before, which you have heard the record,
Mm-hmm.
and that didn't really work out, and that just it took a lot of time and stuff like that, but then when that wasn't it, we just started playing shows and trying to get into the scene, if you will, so we could be a working band and get in and play shows. I was lucky enough to meet Darren from, I think he's the manager for Molotov Jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are great. I met them when Dead Streets played at Dead Baby. And that was a really cool experience. And I was like, man, I know we're just talking. I was like, man, I know you've taken a huge chance on me, but let me give you a sticker with my band's name on it. Check us out and please book us shows. He did it, and Mitch at the same time was getting in good with the people at Real Art. Mm-hmm. And in that area, and we just started taking off from there. Our very first show, though, was Porch Fest in Tacoma. That was really fun, and that definitely helped us,
Was that 2024?
Yeah. And then, we ended up meeting Casi and Jack at a show that we played, I think, with MFD at Lucky Liquor. And that was a huge deal in terms of a chapter for the band. Casi told his band, Dead Streets, who I love, absolutely love. Everybody is a band. And they all came and checked us out, and we became friends basically immediately. And then, we were all hanging outside, and Mitch asked about recording, and we were told to go to Scott from Titan Recording Studios. And Scott is awesome. I got all the love in the world for Scott, Yeah. And we ended up recording there, and we're a working band, and man, we are more broke than most, or at least it feels like it. And we were short on cash after a while of recording and doing things like that. And we had 4 more songs that we wanted to put on that record that ended up not going on the record because of time and money. We just didn't have time and money as a band. Nobody can line it up. And that's why we sat on those recordings for so long, Mm-hmm. And then finally, one of us in the group chat, I don't remember exactly who, just said, should we just put those out and bring the next 4 on another record with some other songs? And we're just so desperate to get things out, especially because we're playing so many shows. And so many people like you really started coming and liking our band and everything, and kept asking, when's your record? When are you guys going to put some music out? And we had all these songs recorded, but we weren't like done. But we just kind of bit the bullet and put it out. There was a lot of lessons in that story right there.
Mm-hmm.
We hope to take those lessons to the studio again and have an easier and better time, maybe a more efficient time recording this next record that we're in the middle of writing right now.
Yeah. So somewhere in that timeline in early 2025, Mitch approached me with a handful of songs, mm-hmm. and said, hey, I like what you're doing. Check out my band. I guess you could say like the rest is history, because honestly, like just based off of those couple of songs, I was like, holy shit. Like I love you guys.
Thank you.
and he just kept sending me more songs. And I mean, I've been sitting on the album like for probably like 8 months before it was released. Just from all the tracks he sent me. Just absolutely in love with you guys. So
Well, thank you.
very happy that he solicited. I always feel nervous when people do that. Like, to anybody out there listening, like, if you want to send me your music, send me your music. Like, don't be afraid to. Like, I will listen to it. If you send me something, I will listen to it. If it even remotely lines up with what I'm doing on the show, I'll probably play it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, just so many people I've met through just cold calls and just absolutely fucking door-to-door salesman shit, you know?
Oh, dude, we absolutely love you too. I can't tell you how many times we've even opened with We the Property and gave you a shout out when you weren't even there.
Oh, damn. Well, now it's officially the theme song. So you guys are actually playing the Grit City Punk theme song every show.
God. It's retitled now.
Yeah, it's just called the Grit City Punk theme show part 2.
Man, that's a big honor though, and thank you. It really is for you to use that. It really is, you know.
Well, thank you. So enough of all this. What have been some of your favorite experiences so far in the band?
Man, first off, this band has really pushed me to become a better drummer. And that experience is a couple years long adventure, at least, and it's always going to be happening. So that's going to be the part that's probably closest to my heart with all this, you know, and being able to hang with my best friends, because we got a new guitarist, Mike. Mm-hmm. He's been a friend of mine and Mitch's since we were both teenagers, you know. So I get to hang out with them and Ben, you know, and that's always really fun. It's always cool to get together, you know, especially that's when the vegan chats come in and we always get to talk about that, you know, get us all together is what's going to happen. But in terms of like recording and shows, you know, it sucked at the time. All those harsh recording times I was telling you about, and the things that we lost, and the time that we, you know, kind of lost in doing that and everything. But man, did it really help us? Mm-hmm. Playing shows, dude. Oh my God, man, I've played so many good and fun shows with this band that every one of them is like a really good and fun experience, no matter how nervous I get before I play. We played in Olympia, Decay, a long time ago. God, that was so fun. Raccoon City up in Linwood, where actually I got to sub in for that jazz drummer I told you about in 8th grade, right across the street at the college there. So that was cool. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was absolutely fun. You know, meeting all the local bands and people that I've got to meet and hang out with. You know, Dead Streets, me, Grimlock. You know, I've made so many good friends. I heard Jack on his episode give me a shout out, so I got to give him a shout out. That's my boy right there. I love Jack, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole thing, and I'm sorry I didn't have like, you know, a simple answer for you, but all in all, this whole thing with Liability and Mitch has been a great experience. Just overall, everything.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for easy answers, man. Fuck easy answers.
Good. I can't give those.
Good.
That's what I'm capable of.
That's why I talk to people like you.
All right, good.
So, speaking of you, who the fuck is Ricky Midnight?
So Ricky Midnight was a name that I came up with on accident when me and my wife and my brother-in-law were at this convention in Portland a long time ago called Tiki Con, where it's just all Hawaiian shirts and rum drinks and just, you know, fez hats, all kinds of crazy stuff like that, you know, convention. And the year before, they had a really cool lounge singer, and I was trying to figure out if he was going to be there the year I was there again. I couldn't remember his name, so I just kept throwing out names, and the last one I threw out was Ricky Midnight, before my brother-in-law was looking at the paper that said the guy's actual name, which was Johnny Moonlight.
Okay. Hey, that's close.
Yeah, that's close. And then my brother-in-law was just laughing, and he said, "You should just make that your Instagram handle." And I was like, "Say no more."
Yeah.
Done. You know, and
Yeah.
that's it. And I never thought people would actually call me Ricky or think I'm Ricky. There's been a couple times where I've been seeing local bands who gave me a shout out from the stage or like pointed at me, and they said, "Hey, look, it's Ricky." I'm like,
I mean, I was confused at first because
well, if there's any cops around, man, that's definitely I'm Ricky as fuck, bro.
I was confused because the first time I met you, I thought your name was Ricky, and then somebody somebody said, "Hey, Dave," and I'm like, "What? Your name is Dave?" Okay.
Yeah, dude, I really, on one hand, I want to change my Instagram handle because of that, but on the other hand, man, I just think it's too good. I think it's too funny.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe you should change your stage name to Ricky Midnight, and like,
Yeah, I've been told it.
I mean, remember back in the '80s, like every guy in a punk band had a fucking stage name.
Oh yeah.
You know, Ricky Midnight. That's a perfect punk name.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing better than that is like Johnny Throw Up or something, you know?
Johnny Throws.
Okay, so let's talk about what are some of your favorite bands? What other types of genres are you into? You talked about metal, so we know that you're an OG punk rocker. You're a metalhead. What other kind of music are you into? Anything weird and surprising?
I've been really nerding out these last few months on some jazz pop fusion from Japan. I really, really almost obsessively listen to the band T Square. I really like the songs like Travelers, Omens of Love, It's Magic. You know, check them out. Cassiopeia is of the same vein. They're a little more linear, which I love. You know, my guitarist Mike describes that music as magical sorcery. It sucks you in.
It definitely very niche Japanese jazz pop fusion.
Oh, you'll listen to it, and you'll. Nintendo even gave them credit for inspiration on Mario Kart music.
Okay, you know what? I've played enough Mario Kart where that music is just kind of like it's embedded into my brain, you know?
The songs Grand Prix, Samurai, Metropolis, and honestly, man, these, you know, I do love playing, you know, just fast drums all the time as much as I can. But man, these drum parts in these songs that I'm talking about, they sound like they'd be easy, but they are just insanely hard and way beyond me, you know?
Yeah.
I grew up listening to a lot of rap and hip hop, you know? Of course I got, you know, like, Public Enemy and like Wu-Tang and things like that I've always listened to. But anybody out here who listened to rap obviously got into Brother Lynch Hung.
Yep.
That's going to happen one way or another. And that's a whole, like, you know, that's a whole nother, like, genre adventure, just like we were talking about with, you know, punk and metal and things. That opened the door for so much cool stuff.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about the Brother Lynch saga here. So, obviously, living on the West Coast, in the 90s, like in the early to mid 90s, hip hop that I was exposed to was obviously whatever was on MTV, and like I gravitated towards like the Death Row stuff and like the G Funk. But then that comes with, if you dig deep enough or if you know the right people, Brother Lynch will pop up.
Oh,
that motherfucker will make his way into your playlist.
Oh yeah.
So Brother Lynch, very, very much horrorcore. That's the genre right there.
Probably the epitome of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tech Nine, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, probably to a lot of people, Brother Lynch would be like, you know, an originator of horrorcore.
Oh yeah,
and certainly like the first music of that kind that anybody out here ever heard of. Now, I have friends from like the Midwest that are into horrorcore and that, you know, are into ICP and shit like that. And so like they grew up knowing like Esham and ICP and Ghetto Boys. But like you mentioned Brother Lynch and they're like, who? Or like they just recently heard Brother Lynch. Because I mean, you got to remember, like everybody in Ohio and Michigan, I mean, they're still in the 90s. So
Oh yeah.
it's wild that Brother Lynch was so ubiquitous here, and just like everybody knew, even people that didn't like him or didn't listen to him, they knew who he was. If they knew rap music, they knew who he was. Within the same, what's now recognized as the same genre of rap, and very much his contemporaries from the other side of the country, like their fans had no idea. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so wild to me that existed in my lifetime, and now like it doesn't matter what it is or where it is. Like you're listening to Japanese jazz pop fusion that, you know, if it wasn't for the internet, like nobody would know.
Oh yeah, dude. You know, the internet did wonders for music. I absolutely love it. But yeah, you know, like, all that, and I constantly listen to a whole lot of metal. You know, I got a lot of Arsis, a lot of Dark Funeral, Marduk, a lot of Black Dahlia Murder. You know, A Virgin's Crown. You know, and I even like Megadeth. Slayer, obviously, and anything like, you know, core stuff. Terror is one of my favorite bands. Winds of Plague, like, just I don't know how else to say it, man. Good music is good music. Cool music is cool music.
Yep.
You know, genres are just descriptions of sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I very much grew up with like Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica. Like those were three like pivotal bands for me when I was a kid, like in middle school. I always kind of like once I hit like middle school and high school, I gravitated towards punk.
Oh yeah.
But again, I mean, music is music, and especially now with the way hardcore is now and has been for the last decade or two or three. Like, I mean, those genre lines are so blurry now.
Oh yeah, and dude, my whole adventure has been basically drum based. I'll admit that I totally have that bias. You know, the drummers from even just like the punk music that we were talking about, there's a lot of legendary rippers. Strung Out, Good Riddance, Pennywise, No Effects. I know there's like mainstream top of the head examples, but man, you know, those drummers are so good, dude.
Yeah. You shouted out a couple of local bands. Who are some of your favorites to watch? Who are some of your favorites to play with? Who do you want to play with that you haven't yet?
I always love Dead Streets, and I always love singing along to their songs live. Me Grimlock is really fun to play with all the time. Oh man, I'm trying, dude. I've honestly, and I know I'm shooting for the stars here, but a band that brought me and Mitch together was Zeke, and it's a dream of ours. Hey, Mark from Zeke, if you're hearing this, it's a dream of ours to play a show with Zeke. You know, but there's a couple bands we like jamming out with. Stargazy Pod, me and Sully, dude. We're really cool with each other. You know, and those guys are really cool dudes. Who else am I trying to think of? Politician's Eyes was really cool to jam out with. My Better Half. I talked to their drummer a lot. His name's Nick. And we've been trying to get something together for a while. That's cool. Yeah, there's just a huge list. And it's just a big part of that is the more people I meet, the more bands I meet, the more connections we try to make and we try to play with. Dude, we just played a show at Kids on Fire. That was really fun. And they brought a band out. Hi-Fi Murder, that was super cool, you know. Dude, Kapala, oh my god, dude, that was like that was on the list.
Yeah.
You know, that was on the list. So yeah, there's a whole lot, dude. I got a lot of bands that I'd really like to play with like that, and we've been lucky enough to play with a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help you out with the Kapala connection there.
Oh yeah, thank you, dude. That was freaking awesome. That was a really fun show.
It was a fun show. I don't even know how many times I've seen Kapala, but like I never not even imagine getting tired of seeing them. Like,
oh yeah, we played with Stormboy. I think that was if that wasn't the first time, that was the second time that we played with Stormboy. And man, what great people! What an awesome time. We played with Xena recently. Dude, I got too many shout outs, dude. You can't do this to me.
We could just have a whole episode of just shouting out bands. I mean, that's pretty much what I do, isn't it?
Yeah,
hey, here's this band, here's their song. Hey, here's this band, here's an interview with them.
I'm not trying to take your job, bro.
Oh, by all means.
No, you're better at it.
Debatable. So besides playing drums, what else are you into? What are some hobbies, passions, pastimes, interests, whatever?
I'm really into philosophy and things like that. I really like freedom, liberty, principle of self-ownership. In case you haven't noticed or heard me say it enough times, veganism.
I've heard it
You
a few
know,
times.
yeah, and it's honestly what my band is all about right there: freedom, compassion, things like that. I really enjoy the discussions and the debates around all that. I really do. I'll dive head into them all the time with anybody. I outside of that kind of stuff, I really like snowboarding. I'm obsessed with snowboarding as much as I possibly can. I skateboard quite a bit. I just got a BMX last year, and I'm lucky enough to have basically like pro BMX friends: Elliot Cooper, Robbie Wright, Andrew Carpenter, Joey Cole, people like that have been giving me lessons and teaching me how to ride. Man, I'm crazy about Subarus. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I love my wife. I love my family. I really enjoy spending time with my wife and my family. And outside, when I say family, of course, immediately it's me, my dog, my cat, my wife. But even outside of that, I'm so lucky to have the not immediate family that I have. You know, Somebody told me a long time ago that freedom is a whole lot of nothing. And what they mean about that is the liberty to just kind of do nothing if you want, and the beauty that goes behind that. And anybody who's seen and felt, the bonding of even just sitting on a couch being surrounded by the love of your family and friends gets exactly what I'm saying,
Yeah.
And I just try to do a lot of that and activism everywhere I go. I like disc golf. Shout out to Casi. Shout out to JJ. I don't know if you know those guys disc golf
Yeah.
really
Well,
well.
I don't know the disc golf, but I know them from Dead Streets.
Yeah, they disc
Yeah.
golf. I've been lucky enough to get my ass handed to me by them in games. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm kind of all over the board with things like that. Sometimes I get absolutely just frustrated and outside of myself working on my cars, but I just stay patient and just get through it, do what I got to do to fix them and maintain them. And I absolutely love driving them. And that's why I don't want to get rid of them. That's how I got into them.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 2.5 RS Coupe and a 2004 STI. Both are just modded to craziness.
Absolute ridiculousness.
Oh, yeah.
So what is next? What's next for Liability? You said you're writing songs. What are the immediate plans or long-term plans?
We're a working band. We're trying to play more shows. We really need to play more shows so we can sell more merch and get more money to record. As you could see a while ago, we got a bunch of new shirts and stickers, and we really threw down on a whole bunch of cool art and cool things.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to get as much as we can handled so we could start recording as soon as we can.
Yeah. So for all the kids listening at home, that's how it works. You play shows to sell merch to make money to record. It's particularly in that order.
Yeah. And when you don't have merch, you play shows to get money
to make merch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's how it works. And you get lucky enough to meet somebody like Tom from Yoark. Tom is the dude who throws down on our shirts and our hats and things like that. And oh, dude, in general, what a blessing to the community, right? And then our other good friend Brian Gerard, he owns a company called Imagecraft out here in Auburn, and he does all of our stickers.
Okay.
Man, that's kind of a connection we don't deserve. I absolutely love Brian Gerard too. Go to him for stickers. and wraps, signs, banners, things that bands would love, stuff on your kick drums,
Yeah.
like I just a whole list of stuff, dude. He's the best, honestly. This next album, it's going to be way more metal influenced. We're definitely still a punk band, but we plan on having more solos and some harmonies. It's going to have more than the record before. It's going to have more blast beats and more double bass on my end. Lyrically, you can expect the same kind of stuff. You've heard a couple songs that we're going to put on it already. No Como, which is it's a song we got called "There's No Government Like No Government," and it's really fast. It's really fun. We're going to have Mike on that record. Yeah, I can't wait to get that dialed in. Can't wait to plug my triggers in.
Right? You're just gonna record the whole album with triggers and samples, right?
Oh, that's all it is, anyways, man.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you different.
you just push the blast beat button and it just does it.
Dude, sometime I got to show you because I keep all my stuff like that in one box, and it's labeled self-playing cheating kit.
Before we wrap up here, we're going to end this interview the same way I've been ending them lately, with hopefully something positive. What gives you hope, brother?
What gives me hope is seeing how more awake, aware, and informed younger people are now than they were when I was growing up. Those people are going to be adults someday. And you know how hard it was for us to explain things, whether it's how we feel or how we feel about what's going on around us, to our parents and them to their parents. I mean, we can go further back and it's just increasingly more difficult, Yeah. What gives me hope is being around that and seeing it firsthand. I know we're a bunch of old dudes with, one of the members' sons in a band. But when we play these all ages shows, to see the engagement that people have, and not just the music, in the scene around them, and the things that's going on around them, and whether it's our merch booth and members or other merch booths and members, people going up and younger people going up to band members to discuss these things and not just hear them lyrically and things like that, that really does. It gives me a lot of hope.
I feel like the younger generations are like, class consciousness is like almost a given. Like they're almost born with it because they were born into the worst, the worst example of it.
Oh yeah. And maybe part of it is because of how much more music is available and how many more artists feel like this, compared to what it was in the past.
That's certainly part of it. And not to toot my own horn, and well, Mitch too, but I mean, I think, our generation being parents, not to bash on like our parents or our grandparents, but like just, times are different and parenting styles are different. And just the communication between kids and adults is so much different now. And it's so much better. Like, I feel like by and large, people my age and, and the younger people my age that are having kids now, for the most part, are raising more compassionate kids, like having more, emotional conversations with their kids and allowing their kids to express more than we were ever given a chance to. And certainly way more than like our parents were ever. And so I think that is a natural progression towards a better world, a better society. And I think it's naturally going there just from the interactions of generations as time moves forward. And what we're seeing right now in the authoritarianism of, the world governments and, all the backlash to, the like LGBTQ rights and, people trying to bring back Jim Crow laws and, hyper capitalism and all this shit. Like, that's a reaction to those people knowing that they are dying. They're on their way out. Oh, yeah. They have nothing left. So they're grasping at anything they can on their way out. They're like the line cook that said, fuck you guys, threw every steak on the grill and walked out the door. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. And it's happening across the board, whether it be with governments and militaries or philosophies and people not being scared to speak out about how they feel and the way things are, or even industries and corporations. I'm happy to say dairy is fucking dying. Shit's on its way out for the same reason.
Yeah.
And on this note too, I think what's proof of this is Zay from PSR, dude. What an impressive kid and cast, right?
I don't think he's got a shout out on the show in a long time. So Zay,
dude,
all shouts out to Zay. Good kid.
Great kid, and how he's always speaking his mind and engaging in those conversations and putting himself out there, and even having a show where he does that with bands and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I think that's great. And if there's more that I don't know about that, man, great. I hope it's happening even more.
If you don't have anybody else to shout out, maybe we could wrap this up.
To my wife, obviously, to the Fergusons, Tammy, Dan, Rochelle, Joel, all my friends and families that I mentioned. Big shout out to my mom, Elizabeth, my brother, my nephew. I got too many, man. We could be doing this. You.
Yeah.
You. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to Grit City Punk for doing his part in keeping this scene alive and kicking. And I know I said it earlier. Shout out to Tom. Dude, that guy does so much for the scene.
So much.
Yeah. Shout out Disorderlies. I forgot to mention them earlier. Shout out Disorderlies.
Yeah.
Love them. Those dudes are great.
Great band. Haven't got to book them yet.
Me Grimlock. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, you'll have a great time. Oh, that's another ripping drummer too, man. You got to get him on.
I met him. Actually, I met him twice.
Yeah.
Three times maybe. Yeah, definitely need to get them on.
It's late at night, and we're facing hunger's right. Flipping to these old sound just right. 10:26, thinking tacos for the bitch. And y'all have been taco la mix. Well, que no soy cocinero profesional. I can make what I know how. Well, que no soy cocinero profesional. Puedo hacer algo sin partes animal. Una hora después, and we feel fucking great. Probably the plans that we just ate. 12 horas después, reheat and still the best. Let's put this cycle of eating death to rest. Aunque no soy cocinero profesional, I can make what I know how. Aunque no soy cocinero profesional, puedo hacer algo sin partes animal. Sin carne, sin queso, sin grasa, sin hueso, sin leche, sin cuero, sin labios, sin ano. Sin carne, sin queso, sin grasa, sin hueso, sin leche, sin cuero, sin labios, sin ano. No soy cocinero profesional. I can make what I know how. Aunque no soy cocinero profesional, puedo hacer algo sin partes animal.
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
What do you want to do today?
We don't know.
Do you want to go to the matinee? No.
Do you want to go to the amusement park?
No.
Do you want to go to the punk rock show?
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
All right, here we go. Tonight at Lucky Liquor, Monday the 22nd, tonight is Salt, Toxic Tears, Forever and Always, and Manila Folder. That's an all ages show at Lucky Liquor tonight. Get down there. Toxic Tears is rad. Go to that show if you can. Mondays suck. On Wednesday at Connor Byrne Pub I think that's in Ballard, is Grizzly, Double or Muffin, and Cal Austin. That's a 21 and over show. Double or Muffin, I feel like I've mentioned them before. That is a cool ass band name. I love it. Same day at Spanish Ballroom in Tacoma is Truancy, Bailey Ukulele, The Indicted, and The Prophets. That's Wednesday the 24th at Spanish Ballroom. Friday the 26th at Real Art is Black Ends, Flesh Produce, Fatal Femmes, and Kapala. That is a fucking lineup. Definitely do that. I will probably be there. Also on Friday the 26th is a free show at the Stanwood Community Resource Center. It is Beautiful Freaks, Trash Sound Conglomerate, Arsenals of Memories, Construction Crew, Amateur Dentistry, and Rigor Mortis. That's at the Stanwood Community Resource Center on Friday. It is free. I gotta say, Amateur Dentistry, not as big of a fan of that name. That kind of gives me the EBGBs. Saturday, the 27th at Real Art Tacoma is the Rat Utopia Experiment, Caps Lock, Beautiful Freaks, and Visitor Coach. That one, tickets are selling fast. If you haven't pre-bought your ticket, you may consider doing that. It might sell out. That is on Saturday at the 27th. I will probably see you there. On the same day is a 21 and over show at McCoy's in Olympia with Filth is Eternal, Smearing, and Acid Teeth. That is Saturday the 27th. Also in Olympia on Saturday the 27th is the Olympia Pride event featuring Sarah Bruner, Erica Fries, Trash Panda Go-Kart, Black Ends, and Beautiful Freaks. On Sunday, the 27th at Real Art is Pawnee's Revenge, Grizzly, Filthy Traders, and Bend. On the 30th, Tuesday at Lucky Liquor is Grocery Bag, Kill Buzz, and Legs. Thursday, July 2nd, at Real Art is I Can't Help Looking Down, Concrete Island, Screenshot, and Gene Wilder from Portland. Also a cool name, Gene Wilder. I like it. Same day, Thursday, July 2nd, is a 21 and over show at Chop Suey with Mr. Interstate, Zaylee Hayes, Mantle Collapse, and Girl Whatever. On Friday, July 3rd, at the airport in Tacoma is Russian Blue, Hot Stepmom, and Combo Box. And also on Friday, July 3rd, is the Grit City Punk Big Gay Punk Show. It is a benefit show for Gender Justice League. It is going to be huge. Gender Justice League will be on site with some information, some pamphlets, and whatnot to talk to people who want to know more about their awesome organization or who may be in need of services from their organization. This show features Ponty's Revenge, Me Grimlock, Dangerous Fashion, Nogginless, The Unsundered, and Scribbles. It is going to be an insane show. We are going big and gay and punk with this show. It will be so over the top and so awesome. That is $15. You can still order the tickets for $10 plus fees. Everything outside of the operation cost of the show is going to Gender Justice League. Great cause. It's going to be a great show. Banana suits welcome. And actually, maybe you get in free with a banana suit. No wizards, though. If you're wearing a wizard hat, we don't want you. Real ones know what that's about. Big Gay Punk Show. It's an LGBTQ plus benefit show. It's happening the day before the 250th birthday of America, and let's celebrate. Let's celebrate gender freedom. Let's celebrate trans freedom. Let's celebrate LGBTQ plus rights. Let's celebrate human rights on the day before our nation's birthday. Let's celebrate what is really important here, and that is actual human rights, not just our quote unquote freedom and liberty for some. That's it. That's all I got. It's the end of the show. Thanks for everybody for listening. Make sure you go listen to and support all the bands that I mentioned and played music from on the show. Support local bands and artists. Buy their merch. Listen to their music on any and every platform you can, specifically on things like Bandcamp, where you could actually monetarily support them. Catch every show that you can. And while you're out there, uplift your community. Take care of your friends. Take care of each other. You can find this podcast everywhere where podcasts are. You're already listening, so obviously you found at least one. Subscribe so it's easier to find it. Check out my YouTube. The show is also on Bandcamp. Want to throw me a few bucks, you can. Kind of helps out with show tickets and running the podcast and publishing and all that shit. I'm going to leave you with a song from a Portland band that I am a huge fan of. They're called Amusement. This was released back in 2023. It's called Walk Out to Sink, and it's an absolute bop. Do people still say bop? Is that still a word? It's a bop. It's a banger. It's a ripper. It's a great song. It's called Walk Out to Sink from Portland band Amusement. They rule. Until next time, keep your stick on the ice. Keep your boots on the ground. Fuck fascism. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. Take care of your community. Take care of your loved ones. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you around.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
Favorite place, I'll put this in a place. Reach up to block the sun.
is this where I say, hey, this is Dave from Liability, and you're listening to Grit City Punk.
That's exactly what you say. And you could say it again if you like, in a different way. Give it
I don't know.
two takes.
This is Dave from Liability, and you're listening to Grit City Punk.
Cool. Now give me a dumb one.
God, I don't even know how to do that. This is Dave from Liability, and I guess you're listening to Grit City Punk.
I guess that'll work.
Yeah.